Russell Robinson Water Well Service. So, answer a comment. How did I get my start in the water well business? Okay, so when I was 13 years old, I met a kid by the name of Dallas. Ended up going to stay the night at his house. We were buddies. Ended up being friends. Ended up going to stay the night at his house. His daddy ended up being the greatest water well driller to ever live. And it just took off from there, man. So I went to stay the night at his house. His dad did water wells. Like I said, he was working over in a plant. Dallas's mom really took a liking to me. She understood my situation. I was a young kid, very mature for my age at 13 years old. I came up kind of rough. If you go watch my videos, you'll come across the videos where I explain that. I came up real rough, so I was very mature for my age, man, at 13 years old. I have a pretty rough childhood. Didn't have a real great childhood when it comes to that, but nothing I regret. I had a great life, man. I have no regrets, let me say that. Loved my entire life coming up as a kid, but for the most part, Fred Pascal said, well, if I'm going to live there, can't just sit around all day and do nothing. While Dallas and all his kids were in school, for the first few weeks, I was there at their house while they were out working and his kids were out going to school. So for those of you who don't know, I didn't graduate, man. I graduated the 6th grade, about as far as I made it. Just the way it was. It's my life story, so ain't nothing I can do to change it. That's just the way it is. Ended up graduating Pascal Water Well Service is what I always say, man. Didn't need school anymore. Pretty much self-taught myself to do everything that I've done. Read, write. Was always great in math. And, with Fred Pascal being probably one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life, along with John Pascal, I was just really lucky to be able to go to work for such good guys, man. They treated me with respect. Even as a young kid, they didn't treat me like a kid. They treated me like a man. For the most part, I acted like one. I had a lot of respect. I was really quiet coming up as a kid. I was big time into sports, very competitive, just as I am now. But yeah, man, Fred Pascal took a chance on a kid, man. Pascal Water Well Service out of Vidor, Texas, greatest water well drillers ever, man. Pascal's known for putting a lot of water well drillers in business. You see a lot of these guys around here now. Most all these guys got their license and got their start from the same man I did, Fred Pascal. So it just says a lot about who Fred Pascal is, man. He's just a good dude. He's a great water well driller in his time. He's 82 years old now. Love you, Fred. Thanks for everything. He created this monster. Not too many. There's some out there. Some of my haters out there don't like it, but they got to deal with it. But yeah, man, Fred Pascal took a chance on a kid, man, and put him to work at 13 years old. And I've got a different outlook on life than most people do. But yeah, man, on the back of a drilling rig, I was an ace hand on the back of a drilling rig. I'll say from about 14 years old. The first year, man, I was doing, it wasn't carrying cement in the wells, wire brushing the pipe, dirt off the drill stem, carrying drill stem. Back then, we'd have to load and unload drill stem 20 footers off the back of the trailers, lay them out. That's how I started out the first year, man. By the time I was 14 years old, I was running the tables on the back of a drilling rig. I was lining the PVC well casing out. So, for instance, if we dug a well, it was 426 feet. You had to get that precise. Where there's sand, there's water. So, my job was to get all the pipe lined out, count it out, cut it the way exactly it's supposed to be. Tape the K-packers over the screens. That's taping plastic over the pipe that goes right above the screens that produce the water, or bring the water into the well, because you don't want all the clay shavings to come back down around it and pack off the screens. So I was just in charge of doing all the most important stuff, man. And Pascal always put that trust in me, man, and he allowed me to do things that I just can't understand. Sometimes how he had that much trust in me, man, to be able to allow me to do these things. And I can't say enough about him. Every time I say his name, I got to just thank him, man. He's just awesome dude, man. Just awesome guy. Taught me everything there is to know about business for the most part. John Pascal, which was Fred's cousin, came to drill for Fred. And that's where I learned a lot of my drilling stuff. I drilled for a couple of years under Fred, but when I met Fred, When I first came around, he was already 54, 55 years old. So he was already up in age. He had wore out knees, wore out elbows. I mean, he was just he was a hoss, man. He was wore out. And even as a kid at 14, 15 years old, when me and him would go out and drill water wells, he would get down, check the sand. He'd let me drill the joint down, release the brake, drilling the joint down in sand. And if anybody knows anything about water well drilling, for a 14-year-old kid to be up there running the handles on a drilling rig, man, it was pretty sight. Being that I was so mature, it was just an awesome experience, man. And I enjoyed every minute of it. And I took full advantage. So, he just put a lot of trust in me, man. That's where I came from. That's where I got my start, on the back of a water well drilling rig. Then when John came around, which was his cousin, and started doing the drilling for him, is when I really took off. John was another really good man. He taught me a lot about business too, a lot about how to be a good person. Just for those who want to know, I didn't have much of a childhood, man. Dad was on drugs, in and out of prison most of my life. My mom had mental health issues. This is why my parents weren't really around when I was this age, man. So that's just kind of the way it is. I won't touch any more on that. But as far as being raised on the back of a drilling rig, that was where I was raised at, man, on the back of a drilling rig. Working my ass off every single day, all day. There's a lot of guys who say they've been working since they were 13. This is not something I just say. This is something that I lived, man. From the age of 13 years old till my age right now, which is 42, I've been waking up every morning at 6 o'clock, getting out there and putting in work. When I was 16, 17 years old, hell, I was a hoss, man. I was one of the baddest hands on the water well rig. Everybody showed me that respect, man. So when it was time to go drill water wells, when we had two crews running at one time, the two drillers that would go out and drill those wells every morning, they wanted me. They wanted me on the back of that rig. They wanted me to be the table man because they knew I was a hard-working son of a bitch. And I didn't play no games when it was time to go to work, man. That's all I've ever done. It's what I take pride in. It's the one thing that I could control my whole life was how hard I worked and what I was going to be. And I always knew I was going to be water well. That was it. Whether it was a driller or service and repair, didn't really know. I just knew this was what I was going to do my whole life. And so I drilled many water wells in my lifetime. Thousands upon thousands of water wells. We drilled around 150 to about 175 wells per year in about a 15-year period. For the first 12 years, that's all I did straight was just drilling water wells on the back of a drilling rig. I was the table man for most of my life. Now I have drilled probably about 8 to 10 wells on my own. That's something I'm proud of too. Wasn't really interested in drilling water wells as much. I loved being the table man because I was just so damn good at it. I mean, I was fast, I was quick. Back in the day, we'd have hands come out and help us sometimes. Every now and then we'd get hands come out. We'd have a little contest on the job, see who runs the tables faster, and I blew everybody out of the water. It's just something I took pride in. I didn't let people do my job just because, I didn't want nobody taking my job. So, I mean, that was kind of the way it was, too. You want something, you got to get out there and do it, be the best at it. And that was kind of the way it is, just like I am now, man. You got to hit it hard. You want to keep your job in the water well business, you got to work, man. You got to show them you want it. And you can't let nobody take it from you. That's the way my whole life's been in the water well business. I've been very competitive. Through my whole career in the water well industry, I've worked hard. There's not anybody in the water well industry that won't vouch for me on that. There's plenty of folks on my Facebook, guys that I grew up with, I've worked with on the back of a drilling rig that are friends with me on Facebook. Shane Parham's one of them. You remember, fool, back in the day, we was digging them water wells and you was helping out. That was back when I was a kid. It was a long time ago. Billy Mack, B-Mac, man, Mr. McIntosh, he remembers me. Remember back in the day, and there's a lot of them. I won't say all your names. It's going to be a little too hard. So, and to this day, I service and repair most of their water wells, and I had serviced their parents' water wells over the last 10 years, 15 years. So, everything I say about the water well industry is just honest to God truth, where I came from, my history in it. I was really good at what I did, and I'm still good at what I do. Even back then when I was doing the water well drilling and being the hand on the back of the rig, man, I wasn't just no regular dude, man. I was born and bred to do water well drilling, service and repair. It don't matter. If it has to do with water wells, nobody's going to be better than me at it. And that's my mentality. It always has been, always will be. Even 10 years ago when I started my own business, got my own DBA, when I got all that started, there was guys that did not want me in business. There's guys that did not want to see me in business. Water well companies back in the day used to send me their service work before I got my license. They would give me the service calls because they couldn't get to them. But as soon as I got my license, man, everything just kind of changed, man. It just kind of suddenly stopped, came to an abrupt end. Once I got my license, they kind of shunned me a little bit. And there was even a couple of them that vowed to put me out of business. I think that's pretty funny because those same guys aren't in business today, but here I am going strong, man. I live with a chip on my shoulder. I work with a chip on my shoulder. Like I said before, I'm very, very, very competitive. I take pride in what I do. A lot of people see it as arrogance or being conceited. I just see it as confidence, man. I'm great at what I do because I work goddamn hard at it. Always have and always will, man. That's just the way it is. I'll never apologize for telling you I'm the best and I'm the greatest because I believe it in my heart. Because I know all the work that I've put in over the years to make that happen. And I still do it to this day. My love for this business and this industry runs deeper than anybody could ever imagine. When I tell y'all I wake up every single morning with the fire and the desire to just get out and do this job and help people, man, it's awesome. For the last 10 years, I can't remember the last time that I woke up in the morning and didn't have a job to go do. I didn't have a well to go service and repair. I did everything. I do every job that comes across the wire, man. It's my passion. It's what I love. And I can't see myself doing anything else other than this for the rest of my life, man. As far as retirement, yeah, I built my own retirement. It's put up. Technically, do I ever have to work again? I'll be honest with y'all, I don't have to work. You know, I'd never have to work again if I didn't want to. I could drop it all right now, close the doors, and forget about it. But that's not who I am, what I am, nor will you ever see it happen. I do this because I absolutely love it. And I want to leave a legacy behind, man. You only live once, man. So, I mean, I want to leave a legacy behind. I want people to remember me, know me. I come behind a lot of great water well guys, man. I don't want to get it mixed up here. You know, you got your Mike Odoms, your AT Pageants. These guys were great service guys in their own right. And I got to give credit to them because I'm just after these guys, man. And I see what they've done. And I know, to me, they have a legacy. And it's through me. A lot of people, don't remember these guys. Customers do, but a lot of guys in the workforce don't. But I do. These guys were great. These guys did good work, and they came before me, and I learned from them. Just got to send a shout out to those great service guys from back in the day. And there's more. I ain't got time to say all their names. But that's how I got my start in the water well business, man. You may have to go to YouTube or TikTok to see this video, man, because I don't think Facebook's going to allow me to play this long video. So, I'm going to keep making these videos. The whole point of these videos is so that people will learn who the greatest water well service and repairman is in the business. And that's me, Russell Robinson Water Well Service, because no one's ever going to be willing to put in the work. No one's ever going to be willing to do what I am willing to do in this business, man. And it's just the passion I carry, man. I love it. If it wasn't for this job, if it wasn't for the water well business, if it wasn't for Fred Paschal, John Paschal, getting me involved in this, man, and just setting me loose and letting me do my thing over the years as a young kid. They could have easily told me at 13 years old, to get bent and get the hell out of here. You're crazy. I'm not working a kid. But they saw something in me, man. And I spent my entire life trying to prove to them that they didn't make a mistake. That working a 13-year-old kid wasn't child labor. It wasn't nothing bad, nothing hard. So anybody out there who even thinks about saying something like that, you can take this size 10 foot and stick it in your ass. These people took care of me. They did the right thing by making me a worker. And I think this next generation needs to learn real good about how important it is to get your ass to work and work hard the rest of your life, man, because it ain't about being lazy, sitting up on the couch and playing video games, man. It's about getting out there and becoming something, man, building a legacy for yourself, being proud of yourself, man, being something, man, you can be proud of for the rest of your life, leaving something behind for your kids, your grandkids. Just be competitive and be great at something, man. That's what it's all about. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, man. Russell Robinson Water Well Service. I appreciate everybody's likes, shares. Keep watching these videos. I'm gonna keep making them. If you don't like them, don't watch them. If you don't like me, don't watch me. It's all I can really tell you. But that's the history of me. I'll keep making some more videos, kind of fill y'all in on some more stuff. There's a lot of stuff in between that I could probably let y'all know too. So Russell Robinson Water Well Service, the greatest water well service and repair company in Southeast Texas. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to keep on with it because my determination, my desire to be the best never runs out. The fire inside of me burns like crazy. I am the best, and I'm going to keep trying to be the best. Really what it's all about is being honest with people, telling people the truth, never lie to them, and just do what's right, man. Water to people's homes, very important. It means a lot to me that so many of you put your trust in me to supply water to your homes for you and your family, and I take it seriously. I can't say it enough. You can call anybody you want to. There's a lot of great ones out there. Newman Water Well, shout out to Newman up near Kirbyville, another good one. Bellinger Water Well out of Koontz, Texas is another good guy. Mitch, appreciate you over the years and all the support. Keith Paschal, Paschal Water Well Service, now running Fred Paschal's business. And I can't say enough, those companies were great. They were good to me, and they were just great water well drillers, great people. Everybody that I mentioned, all of y'all, thank y'all for everything y'all do. I'm going to keep on representing. I'm going to keep on doing what's right. So I appreciate the work that all the other companies in the business send me when you can't get to something, and y'all send it to me. I appreciate it. For the bad guys out there who don't like me, for all my haters out there who just can't stand me, I just give you a big old smile, baby. I love you all. Thank you for all the support. Thanks to all my haters too, man. Y'all made it possible, man, because my competitive nature makes me want to be great. And when you got doubters out there and you got people out there who are haters, I mean, those people help too, man. They help you become great too. Chip on my shoulder, I'll always carry it. And I ain't going nowhere. Russell Robinson Water Well Service. Much love. Thanks to every.